Welcome to the ForRealSportsFans.com podcast. I'm your host, Shannon. I'm joined by Ray, Randy, and Kevin.
All right, starting with you, Kev. What do you think about the NBA All-Star Game?
I would say that it was good to see Kyrie Irving emerge as a formidable, pretty much superstar. I like seeing that. I thought that it was bad seeing Chris Bosh play as many minutes as he did during the All-Star Game, seeing as how he was pretty much a replacement player for when Rondo went down. I thought that Irving should have got more minutes during that game. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. I even want to commend the young boy, Ross, and from Toronto for winning the slam dunk contest. It wasn't in my top five, I would say, all-time worst dunk contest, because there was some pretty bad ones, and I don't think they did that bad of a job. Those boys tried to bring it. I thought the first round of that dunk contest was right on par with some of the greats, so they just missed too many dunks, but that's the way it's been kind of going now ever since they changed that format to where you could dunk as many times in a minute and a half. So, like I said, I thought Kyrie Irving was almost like an overall MVP of the whole weekend. He really shined to me. I look forward to see what that young man is going to do in the future. And it wasn't that bad. The worst thing about the NBA All-Star Weekend was just the pop culture aspect of it. The whole groupieism, the hip-hop dominance, the whole nightclub scene that thankfully you don't see and hear about it much. I think they're kind of going overboard with that, where, it's about, congratulating these guys at a half a season, congratulations for being there, giving the fans all access, but it's kind of balloon to something else. And we saw that with the whole Lil Wayne thing and his comments and things like that seem to be kind of overshadowing why we are all here in the first place and why we're all tuned in. Everyone came and visited Houston, Texas for that reason, to celebrate the NBA and what's going on. The game gives a lot to us as fans. It gives a lot to the players. It's an overall good feeling, and then this guy shows up and F the NBA and F everybody and, talking about a guy's wife. And then also, basically threatening to kill, taxpaying, good civilian basketball players. Like, since when do gangsters get involved with talking about, what you're going to do to a guy once he gets off the court? And I think that Lil Wayne crossed that line. No, do I think he's a gangster? No, of course not. But you still threaten to take someone's life. To me, I always take that serious. That's just the kind of person that I am. If you threaten my life, I don't care if you're 2 feet tall. I think in my mind now I have to go on attack mode because you might actually try to do something. That's how I am. The other pop culture moment is Greg Popovich, telling Dwight Howard to get his head in the effing game or something like that, to that nature. And I kind of got mixed feelings about that. I don't like the Lakers. I kind of like Dwight Howard though. And at the same time, if I was to put myself in that stanky Lakers uniform, I would say to myself, I would probably turn to Greg Popovich and give him the finger or something like, "That's you're Greg Popovich. I don't give a shit what you think about me. I'll play on the Los Angeles Lakers. You piece of shit." Like, Popovich gave him a heart attack. You're supposed to hate him. He's the damn Spurs coach. Like, fuck you. Get out of my face. I'd have threw a towel at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a Lakers fan, you kind of wonder. It's like, you think about it. If Dwight Howard, flipped him off or gave him more of a headache, it's kind of a good thing for a Laker, don't you think, Randy?
No. First and foremost, man, is Greg Popovich, man. The man won championships just like Kobe won championships. Everybody expect more from the man. He's playing with a torn labrum in the All-Star game for whatever reason. He's shooting half-court shots, making them.
Yeah, but the reason why Greg Popovich really screaming at him is because he's on the bench playing around. So, I don't know. If you're wearing a Lakers jersey and in the All-Star game, Greg Popovich tells you to get your head out of your effing ass or something like that, you just say, "Yes, sir," or would you be like, "Get out of my face"? I mean, what would you say to him?
But
would you apologize?
Do you know why he did it?
Because he was joking on the bench. He was joking with the celebrities behind him. The celebrities who weren't in the game.
No, Popovich went ahead and drew up a play for him, specifically just for Dwight. And then he went ahead and everybody went on the court Dwight was on the bench and talked to the celebrities. That's what happened.
That's what I just said.
He had dropped a plate but he wasn't supposed to be in the game.
Okay.
Dwight was
like I said, I mean, it's like you wear the...
It's the coach telling you to go in the game, man. It's an all-star game. He's telling you to go in, and you don't go in. That's just like they tell you to go to work, and you don't go to work. Like, what?
I understand it's a rival coach. Yeah, I'm not that mad for him not listening to a rival coach is my point. But
he knew that going into the game, though, man. He knew that when they made it to the all-star game, man. Someone getting paid to play that game, man. They supposed to just be playing. You know what I mean? For the fans. They tell you go ahead and drop a play for you. You're supposed to go out there and just ball. Play some Harlem Globetrotters, like, you know, entertain the fans. He up there playing with celebrities. Like, yeah, you don't give up. It's about the celebrity. Like, you don't want to go ahead and talk to Lil Wayne, Rick Ross during the game, really?
Maybe he was on the last one.
This goes back to what Kobe said, man. This goes back to what Kobe said, man. Kobe said, man, he tried to man, listen, he needs to be focused on winning a championship, man. Everybody else.
They're not winning a championship.
This ain't no last time, man. This is about winning a championship, man.
500 right now.
Listen, how long you think Kobe don't play? Exactly. Dwight need to get going
at least 4 more years. Kobe's going to play 4 more years, I think.
Listen.
2017, I think he'll retire at the end of that season.
Right now, man. He ain't trying to wait the next season and all of that. He's trying to win this season. In June,
they will not win this season. They're 4 games under 500. They're in 10th place. It's not going to happen.
How many games left, man?
It ain't happening.
How many games left, man? You act like it's only like 4 games left in the season. Listen, they got like 30-some games left, man. They're good. They're good, man. What's going to make it, man? Listen, how about get it together, man? It's all about Dwight. So, let's get back to Dwight Howard real quick, man. No, I would not trade him.
Yeah, I would say no too. No trade to Dwight Howard. You got to keep him, but if they keep him, he's a max player, and they're going. Yeah, he'll be a free agent. Yeah, he might not be able to keep him, and if he does sign with you, you're gonna be over the luxury tax as well, and so that's going.
If the Lakers don't win this year, that's why Kobe is so hard on them right now. Talking about we got to get focused.
But see, that's
if they don't win it here, man, this man can leave July 1st and leave. The Lakers leave.
You know why he'll leave? If he leaves, come on, man. You know why he would go? It'd be Kobe's fault 100% if he was to leave. No. Here you are, a teammate, and you're acting as if you've never had an injured player on your team before. He's inconsistent. He's giving you consistent numbers all season. He's not been 100% all man.
That's where the problem come in. It's Jim Buss. He running this show right now. His father just passed away. Dr. Buss, but it's like he's running the show now. They're trying to get Jeannie to go ahead and get Phil coming back. I heard that rumor too. But
what does that have to do with what I'm talking about? If Dwight Howard does not opt to re-sign with the Lakers, you can put that squarely on the shoulders of Kobe Bryant because he made it hot. He made it uncomfortable for him.
So what it comes down
to? It's a one-on-one situation.
Lakers, that's who Dwight wants. Dwight wants Phil Jackson. That's who he wants. Everybody was worried about who Kobe wants. It's about who he wants. Since Kobe's supposed to be passing the torch to him. You know what I mean? So it's like Dwight really wants Phil. So why is Dwight Howard not too happy in La La Land right now? Because of the Anthony system. Because of Kobe Bryant. Because of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant didn't want Mike Brown there, and everyone knows that the way that the Lakers need to play, especially with Dwight Howard in there, is the way Mike Brown was pushing that they needed to play. But then Tony's whole system is revolved around Steve Nash, which makes no sense because Steve Nash is almost 40 years old. And who hired Mike Brown? Gave you that hard truth. Who fired Mike Brown? Didn't want to hear. They fired him. Fired Mike Brown. And they're still paying for it. Kobe didn't fire Mike Brown. Huh? Jim Buss fired Mike Brown. That's where the problem lies, right there, man. It's Jim Buss. Kobe. It's a situation where Kobe has
a uniform. And that's a huge problem to me because I never felt the same way about Magic Johnson.
Why the Black Mamba got to be the villain? Why can't he play?
I don't know.
The man is balling out ridiculous right now. At how old is Kobe? 34, 35.
I'm not saying he's not balling. You're not hearing what I'm saying. Go to the media. He basically calls Howard soft and says he's not really injured. He's like, you're not injured. If you're gonna play plays, call him out. You're a player, not a coach. So you don't go to the media like Phil Jackson trying to use a mind control trick because you're not Phil Jackson.
He got that surgery in Germany, man. He got that surgery on his knees. Kobe got 24-year-old legs, man. He's trying to win a championship right now.
Yeah, but you can't call out the guy if he says he's injured for just one game. You can't call him out and say you're soft. You can't do that.
And when the man is going to play in the All-Star game, yes, you can. When he go ahead and play in the All-Star game, yes, you can't call him out on his injury. Who plays hurt in the All-Star game, Kevin?
Anybody. It's the All-Star game. There's no defense. His injury, you know what his injury is a result from. It's the whole Shaq disease, and he's got it too. And other people similar to those two guys had it too. You know, I'm sure Wilt had that same problem. You're going up for rebounds, you're going up for dunks, and guys will just smack foul you because you'll power through and just dunk it on their face. So they would yank your whole damn arm down and then they'll rip your shoulder out of place. And that's exactly how you get a torn labrum because you're pushing up to go towards the rim and they're dragging your arm back down. And they're 200 plus pounds as well, so plus the force of you jumping. And that's exactly how it happens. So in the All-Star game, they don't play that kind of defense. They wouldn't do that to you, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a problem with him playing in that All-Star game, and he didn't play a lot of minutes anyhow.
Yeah.
And he didn't look as bad as Chris Bosh. So Lakers fans had nothing to worry about. Chris Bosh getting the ball thrown between his legs. I counted 3 different occasions.
Yeah, that was embarrassing, man.
Oh, my God.
Everyone wants to cry.
Come on. He's got to have the worst week ever. Then the guy comes out that same night, he talks. Radio station is all over YouTube right now. And then I gotta, I can't salute that type of behavior because, let's be honest, we're talking about young, rich, and African American black dudes like myself is the only thing I got in common to them because I ain't get that young and that damn sure ain't rich. But we had that. Our knock on us is, Randy, you know it. Ray, you know it as well, because I got to say salute to Ray, because out of the telephone call, he's the only guy who walked her down the aisle and made his girl an honest woman. That's a knock on us. We have a little bit of an issue with that marriage commitment. So even if your girlfriend's past is kind of questionable, when a guy walks her down the aisle, to me, I think as a guy code, we shouldn't go knocking that woman now, because there's so many other girls off the market, that way, because we don't marry chicks anyway. So as soon as the guy finally go ahead and get married, then he want to go ahead and talk about his wife. I just think that's lower than a low blow, and I can't believe that Cameron joined in on it. I can't believe my boy Sam did too.
Do you see like they play Honey Nut Cheerios?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's all bad. I think that's all bad. But the thing about KG, I never dogged him for that because he said something that nobody heard. I put $100 on it that he didn't say it exactly like that. That's still hearsay. Versus a guy on a microphone in front of 3,000 people and everyone's cell phone is up recording. You see something about somebody's wife and what you did with her. That's not even in the same level. And then my boy Cameron, who I always respected, he throws it up on his Instagram talking about her, posting pictures of her when she was fresh out of high school. It's like, come on, dog. Y'all don't supposed to do that, man. Everybody's got a pass,
It's just, that's wrong.
But you know what? It's kind of easy to go ahead and talk about a guy who cried after a basketball game in the first place, so...
Yeah, but see, how much you make fun of a basketball player for basketball things like I am. People threw the ball between your legs and cross you over all in the All-Star game, getting all kind of just layups in your face, embarrassed you in the All-Star game. But off the court, you don't talk about a guy's family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is his wife, and that's the.
To be some kind of gangster.
Yeah, that's the mother of his child and everything.
He just a schoolboy who played ball all his life. Come on, dog. He went to Georgia Tech. It ain't easy to get into that school. You know, he ain't on the block. But them boys is violating me on so many different levels. You know? That's true.
Yeah, I mean, and then, I mean, there's reports that Lil Wayne, everything that he was saying may not even be true anyway. Like, first getting kicked out of the whole NBA, they talked to a NBA rep, and he denied the whole report, you know, with him even being kicked out.
He can go to any game he wants to.
Yeah.
You know? And then the other people said that the security basically just stepped to him like, yo, if you don't shut the hell up, do you know who I'm talking to? I'm out of here. You know, which is a bitch move. You know what I mean? You're not above me because you make X amount of dollars. And as a matter of fact, you in Airlines Arena in Miami, and if you're sitting in that second row, everybody around you has money in that row, buddy. You know what I mean? So they got to shut the hell up and can't cuss and that crazy. You can't either. What makes you better than them people? You know? Forgetting where you came from. You're not better than me. And this ain't your party. It's their party. You're here to watch them play. So sit your ass down and do so.
Yeah. And then, you know, and Kev, to your earlier point, even about the All-Star game, man, I do think the breakout star of the entire game or the entire weekend was Kyrie Irving. He really put everybody on notice, man. It's just with the 3-point contest and then even showing out in the All-Star game itself. You know, and
what is he at? 24 points in that final round?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way to go and telling you how great of a big deal that was. And I heard him talking about it, you know, maybe that night or the next day, like, you know, at another game or something. He kind of mentioned it and how that was such a big deal to see. Like you were just saying, like you don't see those kind of points put up. And basically everybody had over 21 points at a certain point in time during that 3-point contest. He was like, man, that's a pretty big deal. And I had to think about it. He was kind of right because in years past, you know, guys would be winning with 19 sometimes, you know? Yeah, it was good to see that, man. He lit him up. I mean, he really lit him up. Like if he gets the trifecta because he won the skills contest before I hear. So if he comes out to the dunk contest next year, that'll be something. It'd be something to see him do that because he would have he would run the table basically on All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Not unless if your boy LeBron James go ahead and enter the slam dunk contest.
I don't even want to talk about that. I mean,
it's a big problem right there.
Every other sports talking head, they all talk about that. It's just a damn shame. The reason why I hate to hear it is then they always bring other people into it. And it's like you don't bring anybody else into it. LeBron did it. You know? Don't talk about Kobe. Don't bring up Dwight Howard. Don't bring up Blake Griffin. They've all done it. You know what I mean? They don't have to do it again. I don't care if they did it once. I don't care if they did it 2-3 times. If you competed before, you don't need to compete again.
Oh, yeah.
Compete, you know, a repeat performance is fantastic for the fans. But if you went out there and you did it once, that's fine by me. I think that every young guy should do it at least once. And don't say, yeah, let's get all the top players. No, let's not get all the top players because most of them have done it. Carmelo Anthony's not a big dunker, so I don't mind him not going. But D-Wade, I can't believe D-Wade never did it. Now he's a little bit more older and banged up, so I understand he's not going to go. But I still call foul on D-Wade and foul on LeBron because those are two of the big names that can dunk that they haven't done it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you know, I think the big problem is, too, he teased us years ago when they had the All-Star game in Dallas, saying that he was going to compete in the contest, and then, you know, then basically just quietly faded out and didn't compete in it at all. And I thought that was like...
I think it's a case where he's letting the corporate people around him pull him out of it for some reason. I really think that's what it is. I really think it's his agents and his corporate people basically saying, you don't have any reason to go. There's only a downside, even though no one, and I repeat, no one has ever gotten injured in a dunk contest. In the NBA. I'm sure it's happened maybe in 8th grade dunk contest, but in the NBA, no one's ever complained about injuries, nagging injuries, something that happened they didn't realize was there, that a week later they tore something. I've never heard any scenario of any kind of injury or hurt or nothing associated with the dunk contest negatively. So his problem is, I think to your point is, Ray, he even went to Twitter this past weekend before the dunk contest saying that, like, should I do it or something? And that's just so corny to keep teasing people. And then he might have mentioned to somebody that he would do it for $1 million, which makes it even more corny. Or you could just give $20,000 that you win to the Boys and Girls Club of your choice or whatever. You know, $20,000 is a lot of money. You can easily donate that to some charity, and they'd all appreciate it.
Money Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? Let's throw those up. That man coming back May 4th.
Oh, yeah.
New deal with Showtime.
Yep.
Yeah. He got a 6-fight deal. He's supposed to fight 6 fights in, I want to say, 30 months, which is a big deal. That's a lot of fights in 30 months.
And now it done shifted the power from HBO now to Showtime now, you know, with the big deal. So I mean, you know,
now they go 24/7 over there on Showtime. They're gonna probably have it like all access.
It's really gonna be 24/7 because it ain't shit else on Showtime.
Hey man, yeah, you can,
I mean, HBO, you know, they the number one, you know, for boxing, and now
they just gonna take off Showtime West on DirecTV. They got like the 5 different Showtime. They're gonna call it Showtime Mayweather time. Showmay. The show that's picked up.
Yep. That boy bringing in that money for Showtime, man. That's gonna be something lovely. But that May 4th fight against Guerrero, man. Guerrero ain't no chump, man. He beat Berto.
yeah, he beat Berto down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be, but you know, when you talk about boxing, you talk about Floyd Mayweather, you gotta mention Manny Pacquiao, and I mean, are we ever gonna see this fight?
I think we will. I think that's part of the 6 fights he signed with Showtime, man. That's all that market. That's just, you know what I mean? He's just thinking about it in advance, man. He made the 6 fights. He's gonna retire that way. He's gonna help. 30 got his opponents basically picked out. He's gonna go. I think he's gonna fight Bradley. He's gonna fight Pacquiao. And I think, you know, after he beat Guerrero, I mean, anybody after that, he might even go against the boy that just won his weight. Broner. He said he would never fight him. They real cool. But Broner, man, he kind of reminds me of a young Floyd. I think that fight will take over and supersede what the Pacquiao would have done if he didn't lose to Marquez. If he didn't get knocked out by Marquez.
Yeah, that would be an interesting
I don't think that he's gonna fight Pacquiao, and you know, and I don't think it's really gonna hurt his legacy either. I think that it hurts Pacquiao's legacy more so than Mayweather, because it really, you know, for people who are going to remember the history, because there's already people who are forgetting it already, and that the history between the two is not that old, you know. But the people are already kind of forgetting how Mayweather had $40 million on the table for him, where Bob Arum basically wouldn't have gotten his real cut from Pacquiao had he signed the deal originally. But, you know, Pacquiao decided to stay with Arum and not do the deal. And this was weird, you know, and it was like, I'm going to give you $40 million. I'm going to promote the fight. Everyone's going to watch it, and you're going to take home pretty much the entire $40 million bucks. Versus if you let Arum do it, you're going to get $60 million, but you're going to go home with like 8. You know what I'm saying? And I think the people who are going to remember stuff like that, and then remember that, okay, even when that fell apart, you could tell that Mayweather publicly was like, I ain't fighting him, but he always would wait to see what Pacquiao was going to do before he would do something, you know? And Pacquiao just would fight anybody. Like, he always wanted to fight the worst fight, and then he loses to a guy that nobody really knew what was going to, you know, it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, the biggest reason we haven't seen the fight is Bob Arum. You know, I mean, and the problem is that Floyd is basically his own boss. You know, he has his own promotion, and everything for Manny Pacquiao is run by Bob Arum. And they already have a bad history between each other, Arum and Mayweather, in his camp. So, I mean, that friction right there, and he wants to control everything. I mean, you know, it just makes for, but for a good business sense, just make the fight happen. You know, if that's what the fans want to see, make the fight happen. But, you know, it's pretty much up in the air, man. I mean, I wish we can, you know, just get it over with and see who's the best. I mean, you know, it's just to kind of solidify both.
At this point, man, we another 6 months before this becomes a moot point. These guys are 36, 37 years old.
Yeah. That's sad, though. It's sad.
It's going to be who cares.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's sad, though, that we have to even... It should have been happened. It should have happened a couple of years ago. You know, I mean, it's sad that it hasn't even happened to this point.
I really do believe Bob Arum had everything to do with, the reason why we haven't seen that fight yet. I'm also happy to see, though, come May 5th or May 4th, Roger Mayweather is not going to be in Floyd corner because he's sick.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Diabetes and stuff like that, but Floyd Senior going to be training Floyd. That's going to be something big, especially for the all access. There's going to be real, major watch right there.
It might be 2 fights that night.
Yeah.
Never know. That's a love-hate relationship there, Never know. But I like the segue you kind of brought up with Adrian Broner. What do you think about this kid? And I think that, let's just talk about his fight for a second. I think that that little young Welshman, the short Welshman that is, he wasn't young, but the short Welshman, the little man, he brought the pain as much as he could. And I like this trainer's whole approach to it. Going to the body, the head fakes, he was moving his head side to side more than they ever did from what I heard about the Welshman. And he tagged Bronner more than anyone has in like the past, in his whole career almost. No one's ever gotten that many hits on him. And I think it's dangerous, man. I think his next fight, if a guy's got an unorthodox style and he's a good body puncher and he's in that division right now, I don't care if he's a nobody, he should be foaming at the mouth, lined up to fight this kid, because that Welshman gave you the blueprint. And if you're hella 5 shots on him, and he wasn't expecting it. And at the end of the fight, when they asked him about it, I didn't think he was just being cocky. I thought he was blindly just trying to hide the truth when he was saying, "Oh man, we do this all day. I ate that for dinner. It's nothing." That, to me, that showed a little bit of fear. Because it's one thing to be arrogant and be like, "I didn't even feel that." He kind of didn't do it that way. He was like, nah. He kind of seemed a little agitated. He even asked him about getting hit that much. And you could tell he didn't have an answer for why that kid was able to get his hands on him so easily. So, I don't think he's ready for the big leagues, man, in terms of if Pacquiao or Mayweather was young. I don't think he could handle either one of those guys, Roy Jones in his heyday. I think this kid is, if he goes back to the drawing board and he trains real hard and gets over that, that's another story. But he's got some work to do.
He's 23.
Yeah, so that's a good sign. You're right. That's a good sign.
So he's saying maybe like in 2 years, like right when Floyd's contract is up, that 30-month deal, something like in 2 or 3 years. I mean, come on, man. You never know. That'd be, Bronner in his prime. Goes against an older Floyd, and Floyd probably
Floyd being damn foolish. I don't know how far they are in weight off, but I don't think they're that too far where it couldn't happen.
Yeah.
But Floyd be damn fool to take that fight at 38 years old, man. Hell no.
And imagine that all access right there. Well,
that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous for a whole month. Follow them. Oh my.
That Pacquiao money right there. That's the only fight available out there that's gonna make that kind of money. Everybody will want to fight.
So let's talk about. You mentioned all access. So let's talk about this overhyping, over sensationalism that's going on, where they think that they're putting on a show when they're not. It's just that it's kind of buffoonery. Like if you remember the way Bronner came into the ring, screaming how it was these niggas doing this, niggas. I don't know. There's a bunch of niggas shit he kept screaming on the microphone, and I'm at home by myself and I felt uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like imagine if you're just around the same kind of crowd that's at the fight. It's a diverse crowd. And you gotta hear this dude come in, I'm just nigga shit. And it's like, dog, you're a boxer. You know what I mean? You can make more in one night than these rappers can make in their whole damn album release, tour, video, come back, drop another single. You can make more in one night than his whole album lifespan. You know what I mean? What is an album lifespan plus the tour? Maybe if you're lucky 2 years, he can make that in a night. So what the hell you care about getting on the microphone, rapping this bullshit? I don't understand what's up with these young. But I think that LeBron and Kobe is a big time argument. You know, you give it to Kobe just over the career and all of that because of the rings, but you take them both in their prime one-on-one. I mean, if they had to, they would have like to make a tiebreaker and all of that. They would have to play 11 games to find out who was going to win that. Straight up, I would give it to LeBron because they both contacted Kareem, and now with LeBron, looks like coming up next season, you know, with him playing with his back to the basket even more by next year, I don't think, you know, Kobe could really compete and win all 11 games, but they would have to play 11 damn games to find out. And guess what? If he played Mike in his prime, you know, they would have to play, they ain't going to just play no 5 games and then, you know, LeBron be lost so many that it's over. You know, he lost 3 in a row. I don't believe that at all. I just Jordan get him, but Jordan will have to play he's going to have to play at least 7 damn games to find out. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I think you got to wait a lot before you even answer that question. Man, you got to wait like at least 2-3 more years because that Kareem, Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm sorry about that, folks. Hakeem Olajuwon off-season training. That do not take that lightly. With his size, 268 pounds, learning those damn moves. You saw what they did for Kobe. The way he shoot his jumper now. It don't even have shit to do with this Hakeem move. But if you notice, after he worked with Hakeem Olajuwon for 2 seasons off the court, when he starts to shoot jumpers now, when he doesn't have a clear shot, step towards the basket and do like a half jumper floater, that developed after he worked with Hakeem. So I want to see how LeBron James starts like little things like that you can't even kind of like compensate for on defense. Little weird ass shots that Kobe started developing. His floaters is so nasty ever since he worked with him. I think LeBron's going to start doing similar weirdo shit that you just don't expect him to do because working with a team unlocks your mind onto all these other little, you know, offensive moves you can do. And if LeBron gets like just 3 rings, LeBron with 3 rings, I'm not saying it's going to happen because he got to climb Mount Everest and Mount Fukuyama or some shit over in Japan twice to get there. But if he does it, I think LeBron with 3 rings is as big as a damn deal almost as Jordan with 6. So that whole argument takes on a whole nother life. So I'm not even going to answer that. Say that again. Say that one more time. It sounds ridiculous. So I'm saying LeBron is so good. What I mean is not the ring. Jordan's always going to be a better champion than anybody because he's got 6. But if LeBron just has 3, him as a player, because who's the best player ever doesn't mean anything about teamwork. That means nothing about championship.
That's true.
You got to be a team to win a championship. So who's the best player ever to me don't mean a whole lot about rings. But most likely you're going to have some damn rings if you're the best player. So LeBron with 3 would make him that best player conversation with just, I don't think we did not give it to him if he had 3 rings. So we got to see. You really consider that. But give it 4 more years, we'll see. If he can win 2 more championships out of the next 4 years, then I don't know, man.
All I'm saying is, how can you even consider that when Jordan won championships with Luke Longley and Bill and Longley? Yeah, Longley, U.S. Center. Luke Longley.
No, he had Luke Longley. He had the elephant man free throw. What's his name? He had Luke Longley, Bill Cartwright, and Walton. He had a triple headed center.
And then he had Robert Parrish for a championship. Listen.
No, he didn't know Robert Parrish. That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna just end it with our final thoughts. Who want to start off the final thought? You should pretty much, you know, for like a minute, you know, talk about whatever you want to talk about as far as in sports.
All right, I'll go ahead and start it off. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with, I'm happy my boy Floyd Mayweather coming back for another fight. Go ahead with Showtime with that deal, my boy. Money Team. May 4th, that's going to be a hell of a fight. And then in basketball, man, give it out to my Lakers, who are giving it to Boston right now, almost by 20 points. But anyway, man, all I'm saying is to the next podcast, Man, there's a whole lot of basketball going on this week, so we're going to have to go ahead and catch up on all the games and everything, get back to the next podcast, and, go ahead and chop it up like we do. My final thought is college basketball, college sports in general. These coaches got too much power. When you think that you can just reach out and grab a player and push them on national TV, even though you're just trying to pump them up and instill more of a pride into them, there's something wrong with that because these guys don't get paid to play. The kids, and you treat them like they're high-paid adults, and it's just not right. I'm tired of seeing that. I'm tired of giving these coaches all of this burn. The way that Joe Paterno was able to sweep things under the rug, and meanwhile they're polishing the statue every day. Jim Boeheim, he's got things going on in a great Syracuse University. It's like we got to take a look at, first of all, respecting these college athletes a little bit more than we do. And if that has to be done financially, then I'm with it. And then two, these coaches shouldn't have that much damn power. They feel like they can do anything. Recruit your son. Promise your parents that you're going to take care of your kids and all of this and that. By the time your kid shows up, he's left and he's gone to a whole other university. It's just too much going on, But let this guy get $50 to go to a bowling alley and his whole scholarship is snatched. You can't transfer to school unless you sit down and redshirt for a year, or maybe it's got to be somebody that's not in this conference or in the same Division One. It's just too many rules for these little kids, but these coaches can do whatever they wish. That's pretty much my final thought.
Okay, yeah. And my final thought is based on college, college students going into the pros, and we have the NFL Combine going on this week, and they have a something of a similar test to the Wonderlic test, and I just feel like any of those tests, regardless what type of test it is unfair, and it doesn't judge a person how smart they are. It doesn't put into context where they're from or their circumstances. And I've always felt like the NFL Combine is almost, and I hate to say the word and put it in the same context as slavery or anything like that, but it's almost like you're not even treating these guys like human beings. You got them dressed up in underwear, and they're, got to test how high they jump, or, can a man play football, yes or no? And that's how people passed up on Russell Wilson and not being a first-round draft pick because he's too short. Or, some people thought, oh, well, Dan Marino, he did low on his Wonderlic test, so, let's not draft him, in the first couple of picks in the draft because we don't think he's smart enough. And then he ends up being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So, it just proves that these tests are nonsense, it's BS, and it's time for, these tests to go pretty much in this NFL Combine. So that's my final thought. Thank you for joining us for the podcast, and we'll see you soon.